It's literally everything that I thought it would be and more. That Road Glide has some miles on it. All right, guys, so that was some beautiful footage. Beautiful footage by the drone. There was a point when we was packing at the house, I said, I'd rather wash every 4 days and go and just figure it out. Yeah, I feel really silly saying, oh, I seen it from the interstate. All right, guys, look, we blazed the trail through Minnesota. All right, guys, it is a beautiful day today, and it begins Road Glide in America. All right, guys, so let me stop it right here for a second. A couple months ago, my wife came to me and said she wanted to take a cross-country road trip. I've been cross-country several times on a motorcycle, on my street glide, and I thought it would be great to get another motorcycle and build it up to be the ultimate two-up touring bike for this trip. A couple of days later, I went and picked up my new Vivid Black Road Glide. So I changed the lights, all the lights. Then I put a Clockworks windshield on it. I had the fairing exchange paint the inner fairing, Coastal Moto wheels, 21 in the front, 18 in the rear, and a Lepera seat. Had some lowers installed with some Hertz speakers and changed out the speakers in the front with a Hertz amplifier from Volunteer Audio. Then I upgraded the suspension with O-Lanes front and rear. Now, I wanted to also to beef up the power a little bit. It was a stock 107, and I wanted to give it a little bit more oomph. So I knew who to take it to, Zippers Performance. Road Glide, that's what I bought the bike for. I want to go cross country on it. I'll be going two-up with my wife, and that's why it's so important to have something that's going to be reliable and strong. And I've had good success from all the other kits that Zippers has, and this kit is made specifically for the type of riding that I'm going to be doing, the Sport Touring Sleeper Kit. 124 Sport Touring Kit installed. Now it makes 145 foot-pounds of torque and 139 horsepower. Perfect for riding two-up to give you that extra passing power that you need and allow you to still run the pace that you want to run. But I quickly realized after some of the modifications that it wasn't conducive for riding two-up. Key thing to being able to travel across country on any motorcycle is storage. And even when I'm going just by myself, it is so important to find all the storage that I can find. King Tour Pack with the King backrest, with the luggage rack. King backrest and the speaker pods. I'm glad that I went with the King Tour Pack. Stretch saddle bags. Those are 5-inch stretch saddle bags. It gives you a little bit more room for luggage. Speaking of luggage, I have the Harley-Davidson bags. Saddlebag luggage, and that's real easy to take in and out at night at the hotel. So I have 2 of those, 1 in each saddlebag. These are the Harley-Davidson Rider adjustable pegs. You can see it has Harley-Davidson right there. This comes separately, you have to buy this. But this right here is what you're putting on, and it has 3 positions there, and then you can lock it up here, the second position, or you can just pull it out the way altogether. So the bike was ready. I had built the ultimate ground pounding machine for two-up traveling, but we wasn't ready. We literally had to unpack the bike 5 times because all the stuff would not fit on the bike. Eventually we made everything fit, but we left at 7 o'clock at night and set off down the road, with our first stop being at Buc-ee's. All right, guys, so it is a beautiful day today. This is the first day, we're only like 75 miles from the house, and we're here at Buc-ee's, guys. So check it out. Yeah, 2 up on our way to California. Can't wait. It's man, I love it. I love it. She's having a good time so far. She says she's a little nervous at first, but you know, this is her first time being on the bike. We're getting broke in, you know. So we're going to continue on to California. We're going to keep going west, and sooner or later I'm going to get her on camera, so we'll see. If you would like to see some beautiful scenery pictures from this trip with daily devotional Bible verses, give my wife a follow on her brand new Instagram, Traveling God's Green Earth. All right, so now that we're all caught up, let's get back to Kansas City. You see that down there? That's Kansas City right there. And today we're going over to Denver, Colorado, which is about 600 and something miles away. And it is an 8-hour and 32-minute ride. Now, with the motorcycle, it'll probably be 10 hours because we're going to stop, get gas, stop and relax a little bit. And it's going to be a hot day, really hot day. And my wife, she hung in there yesterday. She did 500 miles, a little over 500 miles yesterday. So not bad for her, which she usually only goes about 30 miles. But the Road Glide is doing good. It's really dirty. But anyway, when we get to Denver, we might give it a bath. But let's get on the bike and get to gliding, headed west. All right, hopefully you guys enjoy this series. Let's go. Stayed at the A-Loft there in Kansas City. We left Knoxville late at night, about 8, and we made it to Clarksville. Clarksville is about 50 miles outside of Nashville, maybe not even that far. And then yesterday, we got up and left Clarksville and made it to Kansas City. And then yesterday, we put a little bit over 500 miles, and we was in the rain for 40% of the day, in and out of the rain. Maybe not 40%, but in and out of the rain a lot. Getting caught riding in the rain when you have no choice, you realize it's not that bad. And once you get broke in from it, you don't worry about it too much anymore. So I don't worry about it. I slow down a little bit. I don't turn so quickly, but I just keep going. Put your rain suit on and keep going. And sometimes you don't even put your rain suit on because it just rolls right over the top of your head. Right now, guys, the temperature is 70 degrees. The humidity is high. Just packing the motorcycle this morning to make you sweat. But on the motorcycle, with the wind blowing, it feels really good. Today, it's supposed to reach up into the upper 90s. So, we're going to put some miles down, needless to say, fast on this motorcycle today. And this Zippers Performance 124 Sport Touring Kit has not disappointed. This thing packed down like a mine mule. I mean, we got in every bit of space packed down on this thing. Every morning we're trying to find a new way to pack it to make it easier to close the lid on the back and the saddlebags, and it's not easy. It doesn't get any easier. I've been across country with the tour pack on the back, the roll bag on the back, and both saddlebags full. Well, now I don't have a roll bag on the back. I have my wife on the back. Oh, look, welcome to Kansas. So we wasn't even in Kansas. We was in Kansas City, Missouri. Losing the roll bag and the extra space and having a whole nother person on the back of the motorcycle, it is not easy to pack. But we did it. We might have to wash. We might have to wash every other day, but it's okay. I'd rather do that and have a good time than not do it at all. You just got to make the adjustments and keep moving. All right, guys, so we're on 70, which is a toll road, and I had my cruise control, the speed limit is 75. I had my cruise control set on about 80, but to be, I'm just going to ride the road. There's times that I can go a little bit faster, and there's times that I need to go a little bit slower. So cruise control is kind of boring to me. I know people say set it, forget it, kick back and relax. Nah, I'd rather just ride the road. Try not to let it drop below 75. That's how you make some miles, because we got a whole state in front of us. But look at this, my God, that is beautiful. When you get out here on these plains, the bike gets to moving. But, you know, you just got to get used to it, settle in and roll. The main thing is about these big trucks. Passing them is not bad. You get two big trucks like in each lane, then you get the wind coming off of them and it hits the front of your motorcycle and your whole bike rocks back and forth. But we roll it. Guys, look how far you can see. It just goes on forever. When I was crossing the top of that hill, just like you can see forever. Kansas, I'd rather go through Kansas than Nebraska. I like Nebraska, I like Iowa, but I choose Kansas over all of them. I don't know, it's a little bit more scenic to me. I think so. We stopped and got something to eat in Salina, and now we're making our way through onto Colorado. That is the windmills right off of the interstate there. You're going to see them all up and down this interstate. I remember when I used to first come out this way, you didn't see that many. But now, there's a lot. Oh my goodness, look how wide open the plain is. And look how far you can see those windmills all over the place. The GoPro does not do it justice. Looking at all of this, it's beautiful. 1,000 miles from home, sitting on a bench somewhere between Kansas City and Denver, Colorado, riding the road glide right over there. There it is, guys, Colorado. Welcome to colorful Colorado. Part of the sign is missing, but we made it. That way was Kansas, and we was in Kansas for a long time. All right, guys, check this out. Colorado. Right here. So we're in Colorado. Now it doesn't look any different than Kansas, but it will be changing really quick. I just passed a sign that said high winds possible coming across this plain. I can expect that, right? I don't care which way you go to California coming from the east, you're going to catch high winds. Look how far you can see. It's beautiful. Thank you, God. We're still running. We left Kansas City and went all the way through Kansas. Now we went all the way through Colorado. We're not quite in Cheyenne, Wyoming yet, but we're very close. We ought to be crossing the state line to Wyoming in just probably another mile or two. We're gonna get some gas, and then we're gonna check into a hotel. All right, guys, so it's been a long day. Finally checking in. We made it to Fort Collins. Back on the road again. We went to Wyoming last night, had to turn around and come back to Fort Collins for the hotel. And now we're leaving Fort Collins, and we are on 287. It's a little cold this morning. I don't have the jacket on yet because I know it's going to get colder because I think we're going to go through the mountains. So I'm going to try to save that until I get really cold to put the jacket on. And then if I get real cold, I'll put the rain suit on. So the plan for today, guys, we are trying to make it to Salt Lake City and maybe a little bit beyond Salt Lake City. That's the plan. Virginia Dell 14s. I'm glad we stayed where we stayed because we got to see this in the daytime. I would not want to miss this. Hey, Wyoming, right here. All right, guys, so we stopped in Wyoming, Elk Mountain. Here's the Road Glide back here. I had to change the batteries to the GoPro, and I'm going to get the drone up in the air. My wife is over there in the store, and she's been filming on her phone all day long. So I'll have some pretty cool stuff for Instagram. I better get the drone in the air before she gets over here. Lights are on. Oh boy. We gotta go through it. Gonna be cold too. Right under it. Look how pretty it is over there. Big storm moving across the plains. Looks like it's moving to the right. The way we're going straight and then to the left, but there's another storm system over there. It's raining there. Road's wet, rain's cold, sun's shining up ahead, and that's the way we're going. You can see the cloud right there. It's just a little storm cloud. Got to get through it. That's the plan. Finally, Utah. A long ways through Wyoming. Rain again, cold weather again, a little bit of hail, just not long, but we finally made it to Utah. We got about 60, 70 miles on to Salt Lake City. Utah is beautiful. I love it. And this road, windy road going through this canyon. This Road Glide is handling it well. All right, guys, so it's a late night. Been riding all day. Got on the bike in Fort Collins, Colorado. Went all the way through Colorado, all the way through Wyoming, and in Utah now, Salt Lake City, Utah. Got in, gonna get some wings stop, go back to the hotel, get some sleep, get back on it tomorrow. I had to stop by the car wash to get some of the bugs off that car wash right there, to get some of the bugs off of my motorcycle. It was just looking bad. It's not looking good now, but it's looking better. Right at the foot of the mountain, Salt Lake City. Not bad, not bad. So we made it to Antelope Island. Now Antelope Island is where I rode the Road Glide special for the Harley-Davidson video. And my dad, he was on the Street Glide special. Couldn't come this close to it without showing my wife. And there is buffalo out here somewhere. There was a ton of them that day. Hopefully I can show her a buffalo. There he is. Oh, he's standing up too. Let's see if we can get. Oh, he's kind of close. No, he ain't. He's standing up. That's kind of close. Let's see. See how he's following the motorcycle? He does not like that. Y'all see him right there, guys? That's a little one. Make sure his parents are not close by. Alright guys, so we're headed into Nevada. We're trying to get to West Wendover. We are on Interstate 80, straight for miles. To the right, you see the Salt Lakes. To the left, you see the Salt Lakes. Interstate, straight. So I got this different performance 124 Sport Touring bike moving. It's packed down, but there ain't nothing holding it back from rolling. We're rolling. We just passed the Bonneville Salt Flats. West Wendover, Nevada is 1 mile. Wendover, Nevada. Just a little town in the middle of the desert. It is a beautiful day today, and we're leaving West Wendover, Nevada. Checked into a hotel, got a horrible meal. It was expensive too, and it was the worst steak I ever had in my life. But I was hungry, so I ate it. We're on our way westward, headed to Lake Tahoe. That's the plan. It's about 404 miles to get there, so we got some riding ahead of us. Alright guys, so we just came into Lake Tahoe. Alright guys, it is a beautiful day today. Last night we made it into Lake Tahoe. Yesterday's video, I don't even know what was on yesterday's video. Probably not a whole lot of stuff. But we made it over into Lake Tahoe last night. This morning we got up, got breakfast at IHOP. Wasn't in a rush to get up early in the morning. and now we are on our way to Virginia City. It is about 60 degrees. That's going to be the high for today. So we're going to go over to Virginia City and then come back to Lake Tahoe and take the tour around the lake. That's the plan for today. Look at this. Look how beautiful it is in Lake Tahoe. I should be in that other lane so you guys can see. Now, as beautiful as it is in Lake Tahoe, the roads around Lake Tahoe is horrible. And you can imagine anywhere where there's a lot of snow, the roads are not going to be that good. Like this big pothole I just dodged. A huge pothole if you saw that. Let's get in the fast lane. I've learned that the fast lane is usually the better lane. And sometimes, well, I was about to go down into one lane. Sometimes when you are in the fast lane and you're not running as fast as somebody wants you to run, which is on a rare occasion with me. Believe me, I'm not the guy that's holding it up going real slow. Because when I'm on this bike, I'm getting it. But every now and then, there's a reason why somebody might want to pass me. They might want to go a little bit faster than I'm going. And if the road is tore up on that side, I'm sorry, oh well, I'm staying on the fast lane. I think we're almost at Zephyr Cove right now. And this car is turning. I don't believe there is anywhere for him to turn. Yeah, he might be turning right here. Yeah, he actually is right in the middle of the turn. This is a horrible place. Oh, he doesn't know where he's going. It says left turn not advised. They're not listening, and they put me in a bad position. All right, so it worked out. The road we're on right now is Highway 50, and part of the road that'll take you all the way around the lake. Highway 50 is a long highway, and I think it'll take you all the way into Sacramento. I think this is the road that we will be taking all the way into Sacramento. But I love these tall pine trees. If you look at this, how beautiful it is with the tall pine trees. If you could smell how fresh it smells right now, there's a scent of pine in the air. The air is brisk. Let me tell you what it is. It is 63 degrees. Too cold to be in the water, but camera's in the way. But it is a good day for riding. We're on our way to Virginia City. It's about 6 miles up this road. Beautiful scenery, nice windy road. Look at that, what you see right there. It makes you wonder. Now, there wasn't a highway, of course, back in those days, but it makes you wonder, how did they get up here in these hills? Well, I know part of the story why they got up here in the hills is because, we have a little bit of time, so let me just share this story with you. As they were making their way west for the gold rush, they came through this way, the settlers came through this way, and there was this bluish silver mud that they used to hate. This mud, it would get all over their wagon wheels, hindering their progress of them getting to the west where they were trying to go. Well, one day somebody looked at the mud, and I'm just telling the story in my way because this is how I remember it. Somebody looked at the mud and realized that the place they've been passing through the whole time with that mud that they hated was actually had silver in the mud. And then once they discovered that there was silver here, this place known as the Comstock Lode was the biggest silver mine in all the country. Oh, it taught me a lesson. They were passing the silver mines because they had their mind set on the gold mines. So it's like, what are you overlooking? Is there something that's in your life that could be a blessing to you? So I like to pay attention to stuff like that. How you doing back there? You good? Virginia City, it's right on top of the hill. A lot of famous gunslingers died up here. Mark Twain, the famous author, had a place up here. and it's cool, and there's still people that live here. It's not really advertised that much either, and I wonder why. You know, they say that it's a lot of people talk about the going to the hotels and all that because they're haunted. I don't participate in that. I just like going to these old historic towns, ghost towns. What I mean by ghost towns, where they just deserted the town. But now we're going through this little valley. I can imagine coming through here on a horse, you know, trying to make your way up to the mountain without somebody robbing you on the trail, because there was a whole lot of people. That's how they made their living, bushwhacking you, jumping out, taking your horse and putting you in a ditch somewhere. But today I'm not on a horse, I'm on a Harley, and we're up here. It's not like it used to be. But you can see, there's still mines all over the place. People are still mining. I don't blame them. They couldn't have got everything right. There's still some stuff. But you can see the old walls right there from the old mines. There's mine shafts. I don't do, like all these little piles of stuff is from the mines. I don't do tight spaces. There's an old sloop box right there. So I'm not going down to no mines. I'm not doing a mine tour. But up here, the elevation is 5,440 feet. Gold Hill. This is Gold Canyon. I'm reading the sign now. Gold was discovered at the mouth of the canyon. Look at that equipment right there. Look at the mine shaft, the old mine shaft right there. See, that's what they're talking about right there, the Comstock Cowboys. It's kind of like a hidden gem. It doesn't seem like it's a big tourist attraction anymore. There was one sign off the interstate pointing this way. Little pink house on the top of the hill there. Check that out. Alright, so we're almost up here. Old mining place right there. We're going to go through this little town. 1669. Gold Hill Hotel and Saloon. That's not a remake, guys. That's that's real. That's real stuff right there. Since 1859. The old mercantile. Wow, this is cool. You see those folks way up there? They're off-roading. It's a turn right here. So imagine having to take a wagon all the way up here. Look at these old houses. And there's the sign. Virginia City. Elevation 6,200 feet. Look at this view first off. This is what they had to look at back then. Another mine down that way. Schoolhouse. That's a big school. Now when we go down here, there's this old saloon called the Bucket of Blood. Must have been another way to get up here because there's a lot of cars here. This is the original Virginia City. The Bucket of Blood Saloon will be coming up. The Silver Queen Hotel, where Mark Twain used to live. And I'm riding through here on old black horse here, just like the cowboys did back in the day. Old red garter western wear. So we're going to get off here. We're going to ride through town and then we're going to come back. We're going to get off here and walk around a little bit, look in so many stores or whatever. That's the Bucket of Blood Saloon right there. Few bikes up here. Bonanza. That's the Bonanza. I forgot about that. All right, guys, so that is the story that I was telling you about the Comstock Lode. Near this spot was the heart of the Comstock Lode, the fabulous 2.5-mile deposit of high-grade ore that produced nearly 400,000 in silver and gold. After discovery in 1856, Virginia City boomed for 20 years, helped bring Nevada into the Union in 1864, and to build San Francisco. So that was basically what I was telling you about. And here's some old mining equipment right here. Here's the famous graveyard down there, where there's a lot of gunslingers buried in there. My wife's over there taking pictures of the church. Beautiful church. 2 churches. I don't know how old this one is. They're making some fudge in there. What do you say? Yeah, Bonanza across the street. The Silver Queen Hotel Wedding Chapel. This is the Silver Queen. That's why they call it the Silver Queen. Look, it's made out of all those silver dollars. That's we're in a candy store here. I ended up just getting a 3 Musketeer. I didn't get anything special. She got a chocolate chip ice cream. Chocolate chip, Rocky Road. Right off the main street, on the main street, Virginia City. All right, guys, we're on the scenic byway 50, and we are 22 miles from Lake Tahoe. We were just in Virginia City. Now we just came from Carson City. We're going up and over the mountain to Lake Tahoe. Now, I've been to Tahoe before, and it was warm. It's unseasonably cold now. Still a lot of snow on the mountain. Going on this road, you're climbing up. I think the highest peak is about 6,000, and the temperature drops. You're a little cold for about maybe 5-10 minutes at best, but then it warms up as you start going back down. But again, I want you to enjoy the ride as I ride through here 2 up with my wife on this road glide. My goodness, look at this view. It's beautiful here. Virginia City, where we just came from, it's not more, it's I think a total of 44 miles away from the Lake Tahoe Hard Rock hotels where we're staying. Would I recommend staying there? Yeah, I would. I'd not stay there again, but just if you could, there's probably things that you can find a little bit nicer. I know there's stuff you can find nicer, but it's pretty cool. It actually gives you a cruise ship. I was in 6th gear. Gives you like a cruise ship vibe. If you've ever been on a cruise ship, that's kind of what it feels like. Oh, another thing about Lake Tahoe, guys, if you don't know, Lake Tahoe is a dual city. You got South Lake Tahoe, which is in Nevada, and you got Lake Tahoe, which is in California. Right outside the hotel on the ground, it says California and Nevada. The state line there. And the other place where we did that was in Wendover. It says Utah and Nevada. That's pretty cool. Now as we come up here, I think we're almost at the summit. So everything else will be downhill. And if you enjoyed this little, nope, elevation 7,000 feet. No, we're not at the summit yet. Almost there. But if you enjoyed this little ride coming up the mountain, oh, believe me, you're going to love the ride going down the mountain, because it gets so much prettier with the scenery, because you can see the lake from there. And this would be the summit right here. Spooner Summit, elevation 7,146. Yeah, that's beautiful. You see the lake over there to the right? I don't know if you caught that on the GoPro. My wife just pointed that out. Look at these tall pine trees, guys. Beautiful, beautiful. I do not like oncoming traffic coming at me like this on curves. When you do that, you're putting in, oh, that's the police, park ranger, somebody. When you do that, you are trusting that they know how to drive, the people coming at you. And I don't trust that they know how to drive. So after I get around this curve, I'm going to switch over to that lane. Right here. Feels a lot better now. It was cold, not cold anymore, because we came down the mountain. I know the elevation probably dropped down to about 5,000 feet. 1,000 feet makes a huge difference when it comes to temperature. But this is what I want to show you right here. Yeah, look at that, guys. Now this is a tricky tunnel. I remember this. First of all, that view is beautiful. You go through the tunnel, there is a curve in the middle of the tunnel, and then when you come back out, there's another curve. So it just messes with my eyes when I go through there. But look at that. Y'all see that there? Do y'all see that? We are over here at Lake Tahoe. Alright guys, so we are here at Lake Tahoe. That is Eagle Falls. We're going to go down there and get a closer look at it. Watch your step, there's rocks and stuff. Guys, this is beautiful. What do you think? I knew she'd like it. Guys, look at that island way out there. Beautiful here. It's beautiful here, guys. I gotta get my phone out. I definitely gotta take some pictures for Instagram. Alright guys, so we're climbing up this boulder that's hanging off the side of the mountain. Look at that. So we went to another location. Alright guys, so we're about to get back on the bike and head back to the hotel. You're gonna go with us and enjoy the ride. Alright guys, so we're leaving Lake Tahoe now. Well, Inspiration Point, we're still at Lake Tahoe. I gotta show you this road. This road is really cool. It's very curvy. Yeah, that just went dead. Forget about this camera. I don't care about that camera. I'm gonna show y'all this. Check this out. Look how narrow this road is. Extremely narrow. And we're up high. Not only are we high, it's windy. Look, there's drop-offs on both sides. No room for mistakes on this road. None. And it gets worse as you come down. So we're going to take it easy. You can see the riverboat. You see that way down there? All right, so now we're going around a little circle here. Back this way. They say 10 miles per hour. Believe me, they mean it. You should go 10 miles per hour on those little roads. That's where our hotel is, way over there. Here's another turn. Tight hairpin turn. If you were going fast, you'd scrape your saddlebags, definitely. And a big drop off. Look at all the snow up there, guys. Check that out. That's the road we're going to down there. But look at all that snow. Lake Tahoe has not disappointed. Hey, Tonya, look, there's a waterfall right there. All that snow's running off. There's the road we're going to. Look at this little curve. All the way over. Now my bike's lifted up. I wasn't leaning hard anyway with my wife on the back, but my bike is lifted up, so it does pretty good going around curves without scraping. If I'm scraping, then I'm leaning over real far. Only thing, I wish I'd see a bear or something in Lake Tahoe. That would be really cool to see a bear. But right now, we're headed back to the hotel, but on the way back to the hotel, we're going to get something to eat. I'm hungry. Let y'all enjoy this ride a little bit. Another 10 mile per hour turn. Big rock in the middle, right in the way. That's why it's important to be able to go at the right speed to make those adjustments. Just think, oh, look at that view, that's beautiful. Just think, if I would have hit that rock with my front wheel in that turn, leaning over real hard, that could have been a bad situation. Still making our way down. You can see where there was a fire. This part of the forest has been burnt. Over the last couple of days, we've seen some beautiful stuff. Out at Antelope Island in Utah, the Salt Flats in Utah, the Colorado Rockies, the plains of Kansas. Beautiful scenery. And I can tell you what, you know, one is just, I can't say one is better than the other. They're all spectacular in their own way. And I'm grateful. I thank God that I'm able to get out and do this. And now that I can share this with my wife and let her see this, even though it was a hard ride to get here, had to spend a whole lot of long days on the bike, it was definitely worth it. Now we're at the easy part. That was a laboring part, and this is the easy part. We get to enjoy it. Well, we enjoyed that too, but riding sometimes straight 200 miles, seems like there's not even a turn, with high winds, it gets a little tiresome, I guess you'd say. But this is worth it. That's what it's all about. Riding motorcycles. Get out and ride your motorcycle, guys. Don't buy touring bikes and don't go touring. You know, I mean, they're yours. You do whatever you want to with it. But if you really want to enjoy that touring bike that you spent that money on and had a dream of going on a trip, then take the trip. If you can't go for 2 weeks, go for one. Can't go for one, go for a weekend. You know, just get out and do something. You will enjoy it, and you will be, I think you'll like your bike more when you get out and use it like that. I have a good time running around town, but I live in Tennessee. We go up to the Great Smoky Mountains and ride those roads all the time. So we have some pretty awesome roads, and I get to ride with my family. The last time that I was here, I was with my daddy and my Uncle Reggie. And now I'm glad that I get to, I told my wife about this so many times. Now I'm glad that I get to share this with her so she can see it. And she loves it, guys. So I'm telling you, I will put her Instagram. What's there, a bear? Oh, you want to go see that? Okay, we'll turn around. I will put an Instagram link. There will be some pictures that you can see. And, oh, let's see. No, I ain't doing that. And, guys, you can check that out. Anyway, we're going to make a little detour before we go back to the hamburger place. I'll turn around in just a second. All right, guys, so now we're out here where the water is. Look at this. It's like the ocean. All right, guys, so now we're on our way to go get something to eat. We might make one more detour before we do that, but I'm getting hungry. And it's getting late in the day. 7:23, getting cold, which, you know, technically, where I'm from, Knoxville, it is 10:23, so we are 3 hours behind now. So we're gonna get us something good to eat, go back, and relax. See you in a minute. Alright guys, so we're leaving Lake Tahoe. We're on Highway 50, and the first stop is going to be Sacramento. And then from there, I don't know if we're going to go into San Francisco, Petaluma, or Bodega Bay, which they're all near the same place. But the goal is to get to Big Sur. That's the goal. But I'm enjoying this road. This is a beautiful stretch of highway right here, going up this mountain. Lake Tahoe does not disappoint. Now I remember, if I go up this mountain, it's going to be cold. And by the time you get to Sacramento, you're going to be, yeah, oh, that was beautiful. Man, you're going to be, oh, wow, rusting all the way down. That should have been a picture. It's going to be cold, and by the time you get to Sacramento, you'll be wishing you had some cold. At least that's how it was in one year. But this year, it's been unseasonably cold. Well, cool, not cold. Right now, the snow is melting off the top of the mountain. That's why earlier we just saw a waterfall. I was talking, it was to my right, so I don't know if you guys caught a glimpse of it, but I think there's another one coming up on the right here. Let me slow down a little bit. Nope. Nope. See where there was a forest fire and the trees are starting to grow back. Oh, that's beautiful. Guys, look at that view. Beautiful. I tell you what, if you're afraid of heights, and I am, but not like this. I'm afraid of heights like on tall buildings or ladders. This is not for you. I'm not afraid of this. Look at that view. Good thing about it, most of these cars in front of me got California plates on there. They ain't worried about these curves. They take these every day. A guy with a boat in front of me, he ain't holding me up at all. Elevation 7,382 feet. I guess that was the summit. We're probably going down now. It says brake check area, so I guess so. Usually when you see that, you know you're about to start going down. Snow chain area going up, brake check area coming down. This is the old Pony Express trail, by the way. From what I remember, the Pony Express is like, was a letter carrier. Well, would be modern day UPS, right? Carried a little bit of valuable, maybe some gold for the government or something like that, and I don't know, but I know there was a carrier service. I don't know what they carried, and this is the trail that they used to be on, and they would have fresh horses at every station. They would get off, jump on another horse, keep on going, or pass it over to somebody who had another horse to keep on going, or tie up the stagecoach to fresh horses and keep going. That was their fast delivery system. And if you were a good rider, no, you was a good rider if you was a rider for the Pony Express. I read that. I can imagine so. They wanted to get whatever they was getting to the other side as soon as possible. Let's see, we got 85 miles on this road. Thank God I got gas. Definitely want a full tank. Look at that water, look. Oh, that's beautiful. Man, this is a road. Potholes. That's the only thing about it. You might have potholes in the middle of your turn. The road is a nice sweeping road, but it just needs to be maintained better. And this is not one of the bad ones. I've been in one of the bad ones, on one of the bad ones. Man, that is so, look at it. All that water rushing down, that's beautiful. Look at that rock where it's just shaved off like that. That one right there, the cliff edge. Going down 6,000 feet. You think these are redwoods? Just not as big as the ones in the redwood forest? Strawberry, population 50. Monterey station. So now my ears are popping. So we must be coming down now. And it is getting a little bit warmer, so yeah, we're definitely coming down now. Guys, I got a treat for you. Today we're going to be going across the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. Now, I've been here on this bike, no, not on this bike, on the street glide over the bridge. My wife had, she visited San Francisco with something for work, but we've never been here together. So this is cool that we both get to ride on this bike across the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. Last time, it was really cold, but actually the weather seems like it's warming up a little bit. It feels warmer, don't it, Tonya? Yeah, definitely does, compared to where we was. So as we cross the top of this hill, we should be able to see the view from the top. Look at those houses up there. So we are about to go through the tunnel, the Robin Williams Tunnel. It's cold in the tunnel. Oh, look at the Golden Gate Bridge. Guys, can y'all see that? I love this. Check it out, San Francisco over there, guys. Going across the Golden Gate Bridge on the Road Glide. The Golden Gate Bridge was opened in 1937, and it's not the longest or the tallest bridge, but it's a tourist attraction that draws people from all over the world. The bridge gets its name because of the body of water it stretches over, the Golden Gate Strait, a 3-mile long and 1-mile wide body of water that connects the Pacific Ocean to the San Francisco Bay. So the color of the Golden Gate Bridge is actually international orange. The original color was going to be black and yellow, but at the last minute, someone stepped in and said they need to paint it international orange, which goes better with the landscape. There's a machine that comes down in the middle that moves that wall over one way or the other to, we're officially in San Francisco, to make the lane changes. Like you might have 2 lanes on this side and 3 lanes on that side. That wall right there in the middle, there's a machine that does that. This is a major tourist attraction which has over 200 workers working around the clock to keep this bridge in tip-top shape. There's over 100,000 cars that cross this bridge every day. If you've never ridden across or drove across the Golden Gate Bridge, definitely add that to your bucket list. Yep, we're a long way from Tennessee. All right, guys, so I'm going to take my wife on the steepest hill that I ever been on in my life, ever. And it's a famous road called Lombard Street, and the hill goes straight up. And then we're going down on the other side where you see all the S-curves, and it's right there, straight ahead. Let's go. All right, so this may not be the car that I need to be behind going up this steep hill. I saw this Tesla roll back, and I've driven Teslas before, and I've never seen a Tesla roll back on the hills. I don't know what this driver's doing, but I'm going to give him or her a lot more space because I don't want them rolling back into me on this steep hill. Lombard Street is famous for its steep section with 8 hairpin turns. I don't know how steep this side is, but I know the other side is curvy and steep with a 27% grade. I have my Road Glide filled with luggage with the King touring pack filled to the brim and a bag on the top of the luggage rack, riding 2 up. At the lightest touch of the throttle, my front wheel leaves the pavement on this 124 cubic inch Zippers Performance Road Glide. And that's without a tour pack. With the weight being shifted to the back of the motorcycle, I can easily lift the front wheel. If I stop on this steep hill with only the front brake, I'm not sure it will hold. I could use my rear, but that means I'm trying to balance all this weight with one leg. No joke, guys. That was super steep. You probably couldn't tell on the camera. But we're done now. What do you think, Tonya? She said that was terrifying. Okay, now we're about to go down the curvy part of the road. Lombard Street is a major tourist attraction, receiving around 2 million visitors per year and up to 17,000 visitors per day on a busy day. It's a must-see when visiting San Francisco. They even put this street on a video game. You can see it in Grand Theft Auto. And it's been in several movies and TV shows. Going down the curvy side is a lot more sketchier than it looks. The road has 8 hairpin turns. It's uneven in the turns, so if you stop on the wrong part, you may not be able to put both feet down. And I'm 6'6", so I have long legs, and I still was worried about stopping, being able to touch the ground with both feet. I mean, you could use one leg balancing to the right or the left, but on a curvy road, on a hill, balancing your motorcycle, yeah, it just could go bad all kinds of ways. So if riding a fully packed down 900+ pound Harley-Davidson down a steep, crooked brick trail isn't it enough pressure, crowd of people hoping they can catch you taking a tumble on your shiny new Harley-Davidson so that they can make a viral TikTok video, makes it an even more tense situation. It goes without saying, I was praying the whole time. My wife was filming with her phone, moving from side to side. She had no idea how scared she should have been. All right, so we made it. So people are standing in the middle of the road now. We're going that way. That's the only thing I was worried about, the car stopping where the road was uneven, where you had to, if you had to stop to put your feet down, then that was the thing. But other than that, just taking it easy, doing the same thing you normally do. All right, so now we are going through the tunnel. We're on our way to Chinatown. Let's go check that out. Look at this. They even have the red lanterns across the street. San Francisco's Chinatown is a major tourist attraction, drawing more visitors annually than the Golden Gate Bridge. It was established in 1848, and there's been several movies filmed here. And one of my favorite is The Pursuit of Happiness, featuring Will Smith. I wondered why they had all the red lanterns draped across the street. So I did a quick Google search, and this is what it said. In China, red represents wealth, fame, and prosperity. And most Chinese lanterns are red. This color symbolizes a prosperous business and a thriving life. I wish I had more time to look around. I definitely want to come back so I can park the bike and walk around. Y'all see that? So guys, check it out. Right there is the Golden Gate Bridge. Way out there, you see that? That's where we came across. From Tennessee all the way to San Francisco. All right guys, so we are on our way to Half Moon Bay. It says we are 12 miles away, 25 minutes, and then we will be on California Highway 1. And that's what we really took this whole trip for, to see that. Well, that's the main thing we took the trip for, to ride the coast of Highway 1. All right guys, so we are on our way to Half Moon Bay. It says we are 12 miles away, 25 minutes, and then we will be on California Highway 1. And that's what we really took this whole trip for, to see that. Well, that's the main thing we took the trip for, to ride the coast of Highway 1. I got a feeling we're getting close to the ocean. What's around this corner? We are very close. You know it's going to be a good road when you see all the motorcycle riders coming this way. All right guys, we are on the famous Highway 1, the Pacific Coast Highway in California. Here's the Road Glide right there. Thing looking good. Let's see, what's the name of this place where we came in? Oh, Pompano State Beach, California State Park. Little beach area right over there. Oh, that's Tonya. She's been taking pictures. She's going to get back on the glide and keep heading that way. Look at this view, guys. Check it out. The ocean over there. Beautiful. Probably at this point about 30 miles away from San Francisco. Headed south towards Big Sur. And they said Big Sur is the prettiest part of all of it. I don't know this, because this is pretty nice. It's amazing how in Florida it's gradual and there's the ocean. Everywhere on the East Coast. On this side, there's mountains and then there's the ocean. It's amazing to me. Check this out. Look how blue that water is. It's beautiful. Look at the lighthouse right there. Guys, look at this. This is beautiful. There's a car horn going off right now, but look how awesome this is. Lighthouse right here. Wildflowers, the ocean. Tonya's over there taking pictures of everything. continuing down Pacific Coast 1. As we go further south, the weather gets a little bit warmer, and I can stand some warmer weather. We saw some whale spouts. We didn't really see the whales, but I saw some whale spouts way out there. That's pretty neat. They said they were humpback whales. As the one lady was watching, she had her binoculars. Check it out. We just entered Santa Cruz. People out there kite surfing. Let me show you guys this. Beautiful Santa Cruz. And we're still rolling out on the road glide. Pacific Coast Highway 1 has not disappointed. This is the side that I should have went on. You know, when I came out to California the first time, I went on Highway 1, but not this section of it. This is the best section of it so far. Beautiful. Guys, everywhere I look, it's just picture perfect. I keep trying to turn off the camera, but there's no need to turn it off. I might as well just let these batteries go dead, let the memory card fill up, because it is beautiful. My God, thank you, Lord. It's literally everything that I thought it would be and more. Sometimes you've been to a place and a lot of people hyped it up and it's somewhat of a letdown. This is everything that I thought it would be, look at that, and more. Look at that fishing boat way out there, Tony. Look, he got a camper van with the awning and everything out there. Wow. So nice. We're in Scott Creek Beach and Bluffs. So we know we're right on the edge. There's a car up front holding everybody up for some reason, but that's okay, because I can enjoy the view. I just know I'm going to see another whale out there. What's that boat doing way up there? Coming into a town. I guess Santa Cruz is a town. There's a big tower up there, so I guess it's some sort of town. It said deer crossing. You really don't think about deer being at the ocean, you know? Wow, look at this. Beautiful. Everybody got that wood ready for a bonfire. Santa Cruz, the city of Santa Cruz. Right on the front street right on the ocean. Man, these people are blessed to live in a house right on the ocean like this. That's awesome. Look at the boardwalk out there. There's cars going out there on the boardwalk. Wow, now this is California. This is what I think of. That just went dead. Again, this is what I think of when I'm thinking of California. This is cool. Guys, look at all this amusement park stuff. The Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Oh, look at that mousetrap. It turns and everything. Oh, no. No. Ain't doing that. Santa Cruz Beach. Look at the sign, Tonya. Man, they got an awesome boardwalk. World's best seaside amusement park. That's what it says. I wonder what the name of it is. Just Santa Cruz Beach, I guess, huh? All right, y'all, look at that guy down there. He's waiting on us to throw him a fish. Oh, he went underwater. It's like they're not gonna throw me a fish. Now I'm gone. Good morning, everybody. We're back at it again. Last night we came down Highway 1, stopped at Monterey, California, stayed at the hotel somewhere over there, and now we came down to Old Fisherman's Wharf. Check out the Road Glide right there. We're out on this pier here. Tonya over there taking pictures. Monterey Fish Company right here. Very cool. So today we're going to be going to the Bixby Bridge, only like 26 miles from here, and then going into Big Sur. That's the plan. All right. And we're on our way to Big Sur. Said the road's about to get a little bit more curvier, and I see that now. Let's slow it down just a tad. This is really nice, ain't it, Tonya? Okay, we're coming to a stop on a blind curve. I don't like this a bit. There's a car flipped over. Not recording that. They looked like they was okay. It was two trucks. One was flipped over on the side in the ditch. Thank God that he kept us, because we went on a detour where we actually missed our turn, and who knows, we could have been right in the pathway of that car. You never know if that minute of time, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, or whatever it took, kept you from disaster. But that's why I always thank God that I'm in his timing, and that he will keep me, no matter if I get frustrated because I make the wrong turn. I'm glad that he kept me from that. So it's all good. Now we're on Highway 1. Can't go all the way down and through because in, what did it say, 30 miles it was blocked? Right at Pfeiffer State Park is blocked. So we're going down and then we're coming back up. Great day to be riding this too. Doesn't look like it's going to be a lot of traffic today. You back there getting your camera out? We are in Carapta. I think that's what it said. Look at this. That's beautiful. And that's where we're going. Hey, I bet the whales are closer this morning than they was yesterday. It's probably what they're doing whale watching. Oh, we're almost in Big Sur. According to that right there. There's a lot of turnoffs, but there's some gravel and sand and stuff. I got this Harley packed down with all this luggage and top rack. Not doing that. When I can find a good place to turn off, I will take the picture. I might even put the drone up. Beautiful. Oh my God, look at this coastline. Look at that way out there. You feel it's getting warmer too? Definitely getting warmer out here. Now guys, if you've ever seen the picture of Highway 1 you'll see Bixby Bridge. It's a famous bridge across Highway 1, and that's where we're going to go. We can't go much further than that. We'll have to turn around shortly thereafter, but we're definitely going to, we can find us a good place to get off the bike. We'll get off the bike and see that. Look at that beach below. This has to be one of the coolest roads to ride on. In Florida, you have A1A, which is an awesome road to ride on. It has the ocean. With this, you have the mountains and the sea. Like they say, where the land meets the sea. It doesn't get any prettier than this. It's so nice out here. The weather is great. It feels good riding the bike. The road is good. So my wife told me I have to walk down here to see the most beautiful sights she's ever seen in her life. And that's saying a lot, because we've been to some really beautiful places. And this, so far, is in my top 5. Look at all these flowers and stuff. I'm agreeing with her. Check this out. Oh my God. Look at that out there. We got to go a little bit further down. Let's go down a little bit further. Look at that. I don't know if you can hear it because of the wind, but look at that. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. The people that were lucky enough to buy houses here, I know right now you probably couldn't even, there's probably nothing for sale. But the people that have houses right there, hope they know how lucky they are. Lucky nothing, how blessed they are. There's the Bixby Bridge, guys. The famous bridge. Look, the hole in the rock, the cave underneath. You see that? It says next 60 miles, hills and curves. Which makes awesome motorcycle riding. Here's the Bixby Bridge. We'll stop after we cross it. Yes. That is something. Once we'll turn around, and when we come back, we'll stop and I'll get the drone up. Oh wow, it just keeps getting better. Every time you want to stop, it just keeps getting better. Curvy road, nice. blue ocean to the right of me. Wind's blowing, guys, right off of the ocean. I wish you guys could see it like I see it. The GoPro doesn't do it any justice. Oh, that wind is whipping right now. I mean, we are on the side of the cliff, so the wind is actually blowing right up that cliff edge, pushing us the other way. So I stopped here at the Big Sur River Inn Country Dining. We got something to eat. We got some Mexican food here, and I got wings and fries from over here. And this is a nice place, right off of one, right as you enter into Big Sur. Now there's a place over there to stay. We didn't do that, but next time if we come this way, that looks like a nice enough place to stay, so we might do that. I just got gas, but I want to show you this. I'm still at the same place right here, the Big Sur River Inn. They have a little ice cream shop right next to it. Check that out. Made out of an old school bus, which is really cool. And gas here. And then they got a little store right here. You ready to go? We're going on up that way a little bit further. Just got gas. We're going up the road a little bit. That was a good place to stop. They even have a campground. I see Big Sur campground and cabins. Nice. Just seems like I'm in Italy or something on some kind of famous road. But I'm in California on a famous road, yeah, which makes it better because I'm home. Well, technically not home. You know what I mean. So guys, if you're wondering, there's gas stations. We stopped at one and passed at least 3 other ones. There's gas stations, there's restaurants. So that's nothing to worry about that. Look at that restaurant, even has a rooftop viewing area. And that's where we're going. Just right on the edge of a cliff. Right beside the ocean. I know you can't see everything that I'm seeing with the GoPro, but literally there is no room for accidents. You can't overshoot a turn and think you're going to be okay. You overshoot a turn, you're in the ocean. Let's see, 15 miles, and that's right where the rock slide is. Oh, okay, not a rock slide. The road fell off there. Guys, we talked to him earlier. He flew in from Boston and he's been riding. He says he's gonna ride around a week. He's been riding his bicycle and staying wherever. Yeah, this has been the rock slide area. Hopefully everything stays in place today. So this is where we turned around. When my wife came to me, she said that she wanted to take a motorcycle trip. I admit, first I didn't think that she was serious. Most of our trips have been riding around town, usually no more than 40 or 50 miles, before she's ready to call it a day. It wasn't until she came home and told me that she put in for the time off at work to go on a road trip with me. That's when I knew she was serious. Her exact words was, "We're not getting any younger, so we might as well do it now." She asked me how far we could go in 2 weeks on a motorcycle and still enjoy the places that we go to. She knows how I am. If she had a week off, I would still try to make it the 5,600 miles round trip to California. I'd ride all day to get to the other side of the country, spend a day there, and ride back home. She didn't want to do it that way. She didn't want to spend the whole time on the bike. She wanted to enjoy some of the destinations. I assured her that if we rode a couple of long days, we would have plenty of time to enjoy ourselves. The Street Glide that I have is capable of traveling, but I wanted to start fresh with a new bike that is built specifically for long road trips. So I bought a Harley-Davidson Road Glide. And before you say it, I could have just as well bought another Street Glide, but I didn't need 2 Street Glides in the garage. I did some upgrades to it, took it to Zipper's Performance to increase the horsepower and torque. So they installed a Sport Touring big bore kit with a Redshift 552 cam. Took the displacement up from a 107 to a 124 cubic inches. I added some final touches to make it more comfortable for her. New seat, passenger floorboards, King Tour Pack, more speakers in the back of the bike, stretch bags, luggage rack for extra storage, and a rear USB charger. Then I got her a new Arai helmet, Sena, so we can talk on the road, cold weather gear, gloves, better jacket, and rain suit. And we hit the road with one destination in mind, California's Highway 1. Hasn't always been easy. There's been hot days, long days, cold days, rainy days, but it was all worth it. So that's how we ended up here, on the best motorcycle road trip that I ever had, on the best motorcycle road I've ever ridden on, with my wife. 2,300 miles from home, in California, on a Harley-Davidson Road Glide. Bixby Bridge. You've seen this in all kinds of movies. Check that out. So what do you think about it?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
It definitely was worth the trip. It was worth the trip. This is great. Pacific Coast 1, and we're headed up north. We've been on the road for about 2 hours now, non-stop. Right now we're passing through Oakland. We hope to get past San Francisco tonight because we don't want to deal with the traffic in the morning. We're not far from San Francisco, so if we just stay at this pace, we ought to be able, Berkeley, exit 3. We ought to be able to get past San Francisco, find us a place to stay, and get back on it tomorrow. We are on the other side of Oakland, and we're going over this long bridge. I've never been this way before, so I don't know where we're going to end up. But we're doing pretty good. Last night I kind of left you hanging. We left Big Sur, California. We did not want to get stuck in traffic this morning, so I knew that we wanted to go through Oakland and we wanted to make it past San Francisco's traffic. We end up in San Rafael. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. We've been up the road about 100 miles now, headed up north and deeper into Northern California, and my goodness, it's beautiful. The scenery, the mountains, the rocks, I can tell that it's changing. Right now, we're probably 200 miles, 250 miles away from Oregon. We're gonna go past the redwoods and going up into Oregon. And who knows, we may go even further than that. That's today's agenda, and you're with us. It's gonna be a long day. We're gonna be on the bike busting a bunch of bugs from state to state today. That's the plan. It's about time to get some gas, because I don't know what's going on. So let me stop here and get some gas. Oh no, actually there's a Maverick over there. I don't know what this is. Any gas brand that I recognize? No, not really. Anyway, we're gonna go on in here anyway and get this gas. There's redwoods all over the place. These trees are huge. I'm sure they're way bigger in the forest, but on the side of the road, these doggone redwoods are huge. There's some right there as we pass by. Now, I ran into a subscriber. His name is Michael. Shout out to Michael, really nice guy I met at the gas station. And he gave me some advice. He told me that I could see the redwoods from the road, and once I get over to Eureka, he said it's going to turn cold again. It's always 20 degrees colder over on the coast. So there's another big redwood right there. So shout out to Michael. Michael, thanks for watching. Thanks for the information. Look how big these trees are. We are here where the redwoods are now. We're Richardson Grove State Park. These things are humongous. Look at that one, the color of that one. Oh, these things are big. Look at that there. We are in Northern California, as north as it can get right now. See those big old rocks out there in the middle of the ocean? You can't see them with the GoPro. 101, we're literally going up the coast. We had to stop, put on all our gear. I mean, all of our gear, because it's cold. I don't even want to see what the temperature is, because I don't want it in my mind. You know, I'm actually feeling good with everything on, but before that, it got cold. We definitely don't want the sun to go down on us. But we're not going to run that much further. It says we're about 70, 80 miles from Crescent City. It's cold, and it makes me wonder, when does it get warm here? Or do they call this warm? Because this is not warm. We're still in California. We're going through the fog, trying to make it to Crescent City. That is where Crescent City is, where we got 32 miles and we're turning off of 101 onto 199. So we won't be running the coast anymore. We ran the coast all the way up here. All the way from Big Sur, California to where we'll be turning off in Oregon. Let me show you this. As soon as I can get across the road here. Check this out. of wood from a truck, so I gotta watch it. There was already a log of wood across the road earlier today. Look at that, a Porsche pulling the Scamp. That was cool. Big giant redwoods. Fog. I hope that it shows up on the GoPro. I don't know if fog really shows up on the GoPro, because I don't think I've been in heavy fog before on a GoPro. It's not that heavy, it's just a beautiful fog. This is like really cutting a highway through the middle of the forest. There's something strange about this. I'll be honest with you. It's beautiful and somewhat, I don't think eerie is the word. That's not what I'm saying. I can't think of what I'm trying to say. It's just, I guess, yeah, majestic is the word. When I was a kid, we used to have to go chop wood because we had a wood burning stove. And we'd go out to the country and gather up some firewood. Sometimes we'd cut a tree down, but most of the time there was a tree that was already laid down, or usually it'd be laid down from the previous year. And then we would well, Daddy would chainsaw it up, and me and my brother would have to put it in the wheelbarrow, haul it out of the woods to put it in the back of the truck. And when you go home, he put it on the big old stump and took I can't even think, an axe handle, and split it, a wood splitter, and split it, you know. And then you'd have 4 pieces of wood or 2 pieces of wood. Then we would have to you know, stack it up and get it ready for the stove. Well, like that tree, what could you do? Look at this tree here. How in the world, that's 4 times bigger than my motorcycle. How in the world, what could you do with the tree? You couldn't even split that tree and put it in the stove. I don't know what you would do with it. I say it's too big even for a sawmill. These trees are huge. Guys, I would not want to come down this way at nighttime, I'll tell you that now. But it's been a beautiful ride during the day. We're still in California. This is not Oregon yet. All right, guys, so we're in Jedediah's Pass now.
All right, guys, so it was a great day, a beautiful ride, and we made it to Crescent City, but we decided not to stay there. We wanted to continue a little bit further on up the road.
All right, guys, check this out. We pulled over. Look, Oregon welcomes you. Welcome to Oregon. Welcome to Oregon. First time being in Oregon. We didn't pass a California sign, guys, when we went to California. We went back to take a picture of the California sign. And we turned around at the Oregon sign. So technically, we haven't been in Oregon because we turned around right here. So now, here we go, guys. Welcome to Oregon. We're here. All right, guys, we're in this little town in Oregon. First town in Oregon. I don't know what the name of it is. City, something like that. We got 30 miles to go to our hotel, 37 minutes. We stopped at Grant Pass, Oregon, and now we're on our way to Seattle. So we got to get gas. We're going to get on down the road. We are about 50 miles from Eugene, Oregon. We stopped at the gas station here. We might even go to Canon Beach. We ain't decided yet. It really is a beautiful day today. The The weather is fantastic and on our way to deeper into Oregon. We just entered into Canon Beach. You watch YouTube, you watch Instagram, you've seen Canon Beach before. This is our first time. It's going to be a nice place to take some pictures, and hopefully I can get the drone up too. I'm glad that it's not that cold. It actually feels pretty good. So we're going to try to find Haystack Rock. All right, guys, so that was some beautiful footage. Beautiful footage by the drone. You can see more of it over there, right over my shoulder. I'm on the beach. I don't really have anything like flip-flops to be on the beach, but my wife decided to come out here, which is she's way over there, taking a picture of Haystack Rock in Canon Beach. And this is as far as I'm going. This is awesome. People with fires out here on the beach. It's cold. It's really cold, but it's beautiful, but it's cold. Check it out. It's a good night's stay. Nice hotel. Gotta go load the stuff up on the motorcycle now. How you doing? And then get checked out, get on to the next location. Let me show you where we stayed at. Right here, the hotel, the Canon Beach Hotel and Restaurant, historic New England style hotel. Very nice. I recommend it to anybody want to stay here. Nice hotel. The only thing that was wrong with this hotel was the parking lot. It's gravel. But besides that, right here, the ocean's just right over there on the other side, and you're in the middle of downtown Canon Beach. It's morning time, the fog is rolling in. Well, it's late morning and the fog is rolling in. There's my wife there. Bringing the helmet and stuff to the bike. You know what? I'm gonna fly the drone one more time before I leave here. I have to. Looks like it's picking up a little bit. Today is a Thursday, so I know this weekend will be a very busy weekend for them. We are in Astoria, Oregon right now. Oh, we're in Warrington, Oregon. We're not in Astoria. That was a hammer right there landing in the middle of the thing. And check this out. I think we're gonna cross over that bridge. Alright guys, so we are in Washington State. I can't believe it. This is as far as I've ever rode a motorcycle. So Tennessee to Kentucky, Kentucky to Illinois, Illinois to Missouri, Missouri to Kansas, Kansas
to Colorado, Colorado to Wyoming, Wyoming to Utah, Utah to Nevada, Nevada to California, California to Oregon, and Oregon to Washington State. At this point in our trip, we are 4,258 miles in. When I left, I might have had 1,300 miles on this Road Glide. The upgrades that I made as far as having the pegs for her in the back and the softer seat, the extra storage, King Tour Pack, the extended bags, that was a great addition to this bike. You need more storage when you're traveling two up. I tell you what I've learned on this trip so far. I've learned that you can live on less, not being so complicated on what to wear. Like if you watch the video, you see that I'm bouncing between like 3 different shirts. There was a point when we was packing at the house, I said, I'd rather wash every 4 days and go and just figure it out instead of not go because you can't pack all your stuff. I managed to get my camera equipment, my laptop. She got 4 days worth of clothes. Actually, we had 4 days packed, so we had 5 days worth of clothes, 2 pants, 4 shirts, and I do have 2 shoes, and she has 1 pair of shoes. And we was going to buy her some more on the way. You can't find my shoes size 15 just anywhere. That's why if my shoes got wet, then I could put my other shoes on. But thank God we haven't dealt with that yet because we've been putting our rain gear on. Okay, so now we only have 113 miles to Seattle, Washington. That is the end point for us. We was going to go on over to Canada, but Canada is a little bit further away, so we're not going to go to Canada this trip. That may be Road Glide to Canada part 2. We might try to get that trip in late summer, early fall. We'll see. But right now we're enjoying this trip. We're not far from Interstate 5. We came all the way up 4. At one time, I think it had me turning on the 423, but then it rerouted me. We're going to go on Interstate 5 north up to Seattle. The hotel has 26 floors. We're staying on the 19th floor. Had to park my motorcycle in the parking garage. There's valet parking, but you have to park it yourself. It's on a hill, on a curve, but I did the best I can. I think it's good. So we're checked in. It has a view, but nothing special, just some buildings. We're on the 19th floor though, but I'll show you anyway. Check this out. There's some little e-bikes down there. So if we wanted to ride to the Space Needle, you see them way down there? If we wanted to ride to the Space Needle, I guess we could just take the e-bikes. All right guys, so it's the next day. We're on our way to the Public Market Center. And also, this is where the first Starbucks was, somewhere around here. I don't know if Tonya's gonna get some coffee this morning or whatever. That's where we headed to. That is the original Starbucks right here. The first Starbucks ever. Right here's the logo. See that there? There. Inside. Look at the line way down there for the first Starbucks ever. So that's where it all started. First place it started where people start paying $8 a cup of coffee. Yeah, and that's a line for that bakery too. Must be pretty good. Smells good. We're leaving the hotel. We're on our way to see the Space Needle. It's going to be a long ride for us today. A long, easy ride though. I don't think it's going to be a hard ride by any means. And the good thing is we'll get out of Seattle before it's bumper to bumper traffic. Oh man, my windshield is dirty. Hey, there it is. Space Needle. Look at that, guys. You can see it right there. Seattle Space Needle. I think the reason why they did this is because of the World's Fair years ago. That's where this came from. We made it all the way to the Seattle Space Needle. Riding this bike a long ways. Now that we've came all the way west, it's time to head east. All right, let's go. Okay guys, we're leaving Seattle right now. We just entered Highway 90. Oh, look at the water. Check that out. Guys, look at the mountain way over there. I know you can't see with the GoPro, but it looks like clouds is way above the clouds, way over there. We have no turn. I wonder what that is. I wonder what they call that. If that's Seattle back there, you think that's Seattle over there too? We have no turns for 587 miles. Straight, right there. And then we really don't turn. I think it just merges over. But we're gonna be rolling. I don't know if we're gonna get that whole 587 today. Be nice if we could. Once we get out of the city a little bit more, I'm gonna put it in the fast lane and hold it there for a while. But right now, we're good. We gotta go through Spokane, Washington, so that is the, I think that is right before, that is like on the border of Montana. I think so. All right, start making our way through this traffic. Find us a clearing and stay in it. So we're on the mountains to the Sound Greenway right now, leaving Seattle. I would say we're probably about 60, 70 miles outside of Seattle, and it is beautiful. It is a beautiful landscape right here. Look how that looks. This is really nice. Really, really nice. I like how it changed from a big city to this quickly, you know. Looks like we're almost at, I saw something that says East Summit 1 mile, like a road. Usually if they name the road Summit, we're at the summit of the mountain. We're about to start descending, going down. It got a little cool. Not cold, I could just feel a little bit of cool air. But I'm not complaining about that. I'll welcome that. You know, there was times yesterday it was kind of hot. Even 130 miles outside of Seattle. And it just changed, the landscape changed. It looks like, well, it's the high desert, that's where we are. But look at that view back there. It's beautiful. Check that out. Who would have thought? Right outside of Seattle, not too far away from Seattle. Idaho. We made it. We finally made it. All the way through the state of Washington. And we've never, ever been to this state before. Now we're in Idaho. Another state for the old road glide. Alright, we're going to keep on pushing. Let's see, you got 177 miles to Missoula. Not going to make it all the way there tonight. But I tell you what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to get this 77. Montanna. We made it. Had to pull over on the side of the road, let Tonya take a picture. But we made it, and it is beautiful. That last section of Idaho, that was beautiful. And look at Montanna. But it is a beautiful day today. And I thank God for this journey that we've made it to Montanna. It's been a good trip, and everything has exceeded my expectation as far as all these places. Some of the places that I didn't think there would be much there, there was a whole lot there, and it was absolutely amazing. Amazing. I really enjoyed going through the Redwood National Forest and seeing those redwoods. That was a huge surprise to me, because I thought I would have to get off into the woods and go through, you know, through the national park. But just driving through up the 101, the northern coast of California headed into Oregon, was a beautiful ride. And now we're in Montanna, and there's trees everywhere. This is green. Now I live in Tennessee where there's trees everywhere, but for every one tree in Tennessee it looks like there might be 5 trees in Montana. Beautiful. So we've been on the road probably about 30 minutes or so this morning, and we are on our way. Our first time being in Montana, and I can't believe that we rode a Harley-Davidson all the way around and now into Montana. Thank God. Alright guys, we're still in Montana. We just, oh, that was a hard bump. We are passing through Deer Lodge now. Look at the storm over there to our left. Look at the sunshine over to our right. Stopped to put our rain suits on. As soon as we started, we saw wet road. Then I stopped to get gas, and the roads were wet again. So I think we're stopping right behind the rain every time. But eventually, if we keep running like this, we're gonna run into it. And I know it looks like it's moving that way, but I don't know how deep it is, because I can't see any sunshine on the through it. So it might be a really big rainstorm. I'm okay with that. I just don't want a really big hailstorm. But we're supposed to stop in Butte anyway, Butte or Helena, and they're not far from each other, and they're only like 35 miles. That sign said 35 miles to Butte. So we might stop there. I mean, we just stopped a second ago, but we might stop there and get something to eat and let the rain move on out. Till then, we're gonna keep rolling. All right guys, so we're back on it. We stopped in Butte, Montana to get something to eat, and we're back on it. We're headed back east again, and man, we're coming through this. We just came to the top of the mountain, said elevation 6,235 feet. So now we're coming down the mountain into this beautiful scenery. You can look over my shoulder there, which you can't, but if you could look over my shoulder there, and you can see some beautiful scenery to the left. Look at that. That's beautiful. Montana. That's a Trophy Rock. I bet that's Trophy Rock, the one in the middle or something. Look how wide open that is. Now when we check the rain radar, we are behind the rain radar. We was behind the rain radar earlier, but we was starting to run into it. Now we are behind the rain again, but it's going exactly the way we're going. So if we stay on it pretty strong, we're either going to run right into it And if it's not bad, we'll keep on going through it. But we only have 210 miles, do we call it quits for tonight? Staying in Billings, Montana. So, yep. Yeah, look at that over there. See that? Check that out. Guys, look at that mountain way out in the distance right there. You still see the snow on top. Well, there's snow on several of those peaks out there. We're very, very close to Canada when I stopped and looked at the map. But Canada would be over there. That would be Wyoming over there. So we just left Highway 90. We're on 212 now. Gonna be over 200 and something miles on a 2-lane road. So we're rolling. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. Wide open Montana. We are in Crow Agency. So there says there's a Conoco and Lame Deer, and we're headed towards Lame Deer. And it looks like that's only 19 miles away. It looks like we're in Busby now, or close to Busby. Hey, look at the guy riding the horse. You get a picture of that? Oh. All right, so we're 16 miles from Lame Deer. Look at this little town. Wow. Got an IGA. Yes, they have premium gas. If they didn't, guys, I would have had to turn around and go back the other way. All right, we're here. All right, y'all, we in Lame Deer. We just got some gas. We about to get back on the glide and keep on going. All right, let's roll. Look at this view, look at that road. We are in Montana. We are in Montana for real. This is Montana. There's a smell. I think it's coming from them flowers. It smells clean. It's just a clean smell. It actually smells like laundry detergent or something. This is beautiful. I think we're about to have a double lane so I can pass this truck. Our next gas station will be coming up pretty soon. I only use a quarter tank. but you want to make sure you have gas way out here. Corner store, farm and ranch. All right, guys, so we just entered into Brodus, Montana, and we're looking for a gas station. See, IGA store right there. I might go in there and get me something to drink and some chips. We haven't ate any breakfast. Okay, guys, so we're gonna go on this Conoco. They got 2 pumps. But they do have 91. Contains no ethanol, even better. All right, guys, we just entered into Belforche. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But anyway, it's not far from Sturgis. And I've been to Sturgis before doing bike week. Never been to Sturgis outside of bike week. And I'll tell you what, Sturgis, I don't care regardless if you go with bike week or not. Look at that little town, that's cool. I'm telling you, if you go to Sturgis, that's some of the best riding that you'll find around there. The Black Hills is some of the absolute best riding that you will find, and it's beautiful there too. So this road I think is supposed to take us down into Spearfish, so we'll see. Yeah, look, it's a little town, Tony. Look to the left. Okay, railroad track kind of chewed up here. Now, I wasn't hot earlier. I got a jacket on. The temperatures was about 90, but I was running about 90, so it kind of offset it. But coming through town at 20, oh my goodness, it's 25 and I'm going like 50. I got to slow down a whole lot. Do not want a ticket. I'm still running 35. There's some bikes right there. Bikes, even during the off time of Sturgis, there's bikes out here, huh? So we just rode into Sturgis. This is Sturgis without the motorcycles. The Sturgis up there on the hill. Can you see that? Back there is usually where Harley-Davidson is. Usually that's blocked out and they letting you just go down one way down this road here. All right, guys, so we got something to eat in Sturgis, South Dakota. Let me get in this other lane. Sturgis, South Dakota. And see, Tony, that's what I'm talking about, Bighorn Sheep Crossing. We got something to eat in Sturgis, South Dakota. And I've been to Deadwood before, but I want to show my wife Deadwood. Deadwood, like 20 minutes up the road. So we are on our way to Deadwood. Kevin Costner had a hotel here. I mean a restaurant here. So I'm glad to see that the town does pretty good even when the Harley rally is not going on. So there's the Harley-Davidson shop right there. Man, that is the best steak that you'll have right there. Legend Steakhouse. All right, guys, so we are about to get on the bike and we're leaving South Dakota, Rapid City, South Dakota. So we're going to head all the way through South Dakota and probably into Minnesota today. That's the plan. We made a stop at Wall Drug in South Dakota. If you've never been to Wall Drug before, it's definitely worth a stop. There's a Tanya taking a picture of a buffalo right there. That is a big buffalo, ain't it?
Yes.
Let's go in. It's pretty neat. It's a chapel and wall. The Wall Drug store. Hey guys, so we were at the Wall drugstore, and someone at the drugstore told us that we needed to go through the Badlands. Now, I've been, as I go back to Tennessee, I've seen the Badlands on the right, but I've never been through the Badlands. And I told the lady that. She said, no, look at that camper, Tonya, on top of that hill up there. There's 2 campers. All those campers. Wow. I said, you know, I've been through there. They said, well, no, you have to go through the Badlands to see it. So now we're going to the Badlands and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I feel really silly saying, oh, I've seen it from the interstate. Guys, this is beautiful. Let me show you this. Look, way out there.
Guys, so we are back on the bike. We're going down into it now. It just goes on forever. And the winds are really high. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but they are. Since we are on a limited time trying to travel through here, we can't stop like we really want to. But it's still just as beautiful going through here. It was $25 for a motorcycle, $30 for a car. So my wife is in the back taking pictures. Here's a dip, be careful, Tonya. For her Instagram, Traveling God's Green Earth. You'll see that, pictures with scriptures. You can give her a follow on Instagram. Look at this.
So we're gonna go up to another viewpoint. Oh, okay. You see the sign that says that. Beware of rattlesnakes.
Minnesota, guys. Minnesota. We made it to Minnesota.
All right, guys, so it's been a good ride. We've been all over this country. We have been everywhere. Just the other day we was in Seattle. Today we're in Minnesota. Can you believe that? I don't know why. I know it's gonna sound weird when I say this, but I never thought in my life that I'd be in Minnesota. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm here. So I never thought that I'd be in Oregon either, but I was there the other day. That Road Glide has some miles on it. We've been rolling. So we're gonna get all the way through it and maybe even into another state before it gets dark. I don't know, I'm not sure, but we're gonna get rolling. As soon as she comes out of the restroom there, she's in the rest area right there. And we're gonna get rolling in a little bit. All right.
All right, guys, so it is the next day. We're leaving the hotel in Minnesota. We stayed in Fairfield, Minnesota. Just at a hotel passing through. What was Fairmont, Minnesota. What was funny, when we checked in, we were the only ones in the hotel. There was nobody besides us and the receptionist in the entire hotel. All right, guys, look, we blazed the trail through Minnesota. Well, we stayed there last night in Fairmont. But this morning we woke up and we was gone. Now, we went all the way through Minnesota, and soon we'll be crossing in to the next state. We're passing the lakes on our left, which is really nice. Now, I'll be honest with you, this part or that part of Minnesota wasn't a whole lot to look at. And I know Minnesota has some pretty cool stuff, but that part of Nadia, Minnesota, it was like the road less traveled. Wasn't a lot of people on the road, which is good. The road conditions were there. and really no good hotels, no good restaurants, and not a lot of scenery, right? Kind of flat farmland. But now it made it all worth it, because we went through there today, and you see this on the left side, welcoming everybody to Minnesota. You'll see the sign right here. See that? See that sign? So that's the sign welcoming everybody to Minnesota. And I assume on the other side of the water is the sign going to be welcoming everybody to Wisconsin. We made it to Wisconsin. Let me show you the sign here. Wisconsin welcomes you. Hard to believe, just 2 days ago we were in Seattle. Yeah, so we're rolling on the bike. She's doing a really good job on the back of the bike. So today we're going to put a lot of miles in, and we're going to keep on rolling. Not even staying in Wisconsin. We're just blazing through Wisconsin, going to the next state. That's the Trojan horse. We are in Wisconsin Dell. Now, we were just going through here, and I've never been here before, but this place reminds you a lot like Pigeon Forge. Look at the water park right there. It's completely packed. Good place to be on a hot day, right? What do you think? Tonya, reminds you of Pigeon Forge? Yeah, look at that. Oh no, that's a big old wave pool. Man, there's so many people over there. Mount Olympus is what they're calling it, huh? Yeah, look guys, that slide turns as you go down in it. Yeah, I see. All right guys, so it's the next day. I haven't updated you in a while. Last time I updated you, I was in Dalles, Wisconsin, and the camera went dead. You might have got a little bit of ride footage yesterday. But we're leaving. We stayed at the Hampton Inn in Lebanon, Indiana, right outside of Indianapolis. So that was the last hotel stop until we get home to Tennessee. One more state, Kentucky, and then Tennessee. So we ain't gonna let no grass grow underneath the tires of this Road Glide. We're gonna roll this morning, get on home. It was a fun trip, but when it's time to go home, it's time to go home. Let's roll. Here's downtown Indianapolis. We're about to go through it now. We're gonna be turning onto 70 West in 1.4 miles. We're only 360 miles away from home. We're gonna keep on moving. All right guys, we've been out here getting it this morning. I've been letting it rip, trying to get back to Tennessee. Got to get the dog, pick the dog up before the kennel closes, and some other things we got to do before it gets too late when we get to the house. But there's one more place I want to stop. I want to stop and get some Bob Evans before we get back to Tennessee, because we don't have any Bob Evans, at least in our part of Tennessee. And I want some pancakes, bacon and eggs. We haven't ate any breakfast. Tonya's in there right now about to get some water. Then we're gonna go down the road about 20 miles and get something to eat at Bob Evans. Then from there, maybe stop one more time. I don't know, we'll see. Well, I know I have to stop again because I won't have, I got almost 300 miles to go, and I don't get that much on gas. I do pretty good, but man, rolling, running at a good pace, 2 up, packed down like this, it's still getting really good gas mileage. Just not as good as it would get if I wasn't running so hard and being packed down as much. But anyway, I saw some bikes going the other direction on the interstate over there, and I was thinking, as tired as I am, I still kind of envy them. Well, envy's a bad word. As tired as I am, I still kind of wish I was still going, you know what I mean?
I'll be happy to get home, but I do like being on the road. The road is fun, and the trip is almost over. So we get to go home and look at all the pictures. I get to make all the videos and see the family, but it's not over yet. We're gonna keep moving. All right.
We haven't ate any breakfast yet. We decided just to keep on rolling. Traffic is good. It's not that hot. It's gonna get hot later. Might as well just keep pushing. Drinking some water. I drank some orange juice. We're just gonna roll on. We're entering into Louisville, Kentucky now. If we stopped and ate, who knows what the traffic would be like. And also, you know that the temperature is gonna only go up because right now it's 11 o'clock. And if we stop and eat, it's gonna get hotter and the traffic might get worse. So we're just gonna keep on pushing. 1.3 miles now from the state line. That is the last state. Kentucky will be the last state before we enter into Tennessee. I don't know how many states we've been through, but we've been through a lot. I just think 4 days ago we were in Seattle, Washington. So that lets you know we've been rolling. About to cross the bridge right now. Oh, gotta get in the right side. Look at that. That's nice. Here's the Kentucky state line. Welcome to Kentucky. All right, guys, so we're still on it. We've done a lot. We've stopped, we've got gas, we've done a couple 100 miles now. And we are about to enter in our home state. We are just 2.5 miles away from it. Guys, me and my wife, we're gonna sit down and do a live video series to ask her some questions about her experience, what she thinks about the road trip. And then we will have another one where you can ask a question about the gear and the motorcycle, and maybe even another one about how to travel and what to pack for. So we may do a couple of live ones. So y'all make sure that y'all tune into the channel for that. Guys, it has been a great journey. I don't know if y'all can hear her on the microphone back there. You had a good time, Tonya? She said she had a great time. Guys, now as we about to enter our home state, there's a tire right there in the middle of the road. Okay, yep. That's the Tennessee Welcome Center. I've seen some beautiful, 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 beautiful countryside. But I'll tell you what, there is nothing like home. Home, Tennessee. I live in a great state, and I get to come home to my family and my house where I can sit back and relax before I get started editing videos. And I'm sure the dog will be happy to see us too. We've been going now 18 days. 18 days on the road, riding 2 up on this road glide. As I slow down to show you the Tennessee Welcome Center sign right here, back to our home state. You'll see it on the navigation soon enough. It should say welcome to Tennessee. There it is. Welcome to Tennessee. Guys, that is Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, Montana, Wyoming again, South Dakota, no, yeah, Idaho, Wisconsin, no, it might have been Idaho, Minnesota, yeah, Idaho, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee. 2 up on this road glide. As I cross the state line, I'm at 7,142 miles that I rode with my wife 2 up across country, which she's never, ever, ever, ever been on this bike. I think that's an accomplishment. So, guys, hopefully y'all enjoyed this series. I had a great time making it. We had a great time making it. And guys, I can't get off here without thanking God. I thank God. I'm sure she thanks God too. If you can hear her, I'm not sure. But the whole trip, we've seen some beautiful scenery. We got to see some awesome stuff. And we ran into some great people. We had a good time. Seeing some stuff. Riding a motorcycle cross country like this teaches you so many things. There's a discipline that it takes to stay in the saddle this long. And if you could take those same principles, I've said this over and over again, and apply them to life. And now I am definitely not a marriage counselor, but if you could take these same principles and apply it to your marriage, then you're gonna have a better marriage. Just as I lean through this curve, my wife and me, we are on one accord. If I'm leaning right and she's leaning left, we ain't gonna make it through the curve. And in the beginning, we were trying to work things out to make them smooth with packing and moving and doing all kind of stuff like that, checking in the hotels. At the end, I had a job, she had a job, and it just made it that much simpler, and we were able to move that much easier. And as I'm telling you that, I'm really talking to myself, and it made me realize about relationship. This trip, and it's still unfolding, has taught me a lot about a relationship. When it was dangerous times, she would tell me that she'd be back there praying because we'd be riding in the rain. You need someone that's not afraid to go through it with you, but as you're going through it, pray for you. That's what it's about. You didn't see her a lot in the videos because she didn't want to be in the videos a lot, but I hope you guys take something away from this video. So anyway, we got 53 miles to home, where I gotta go pick up Kessler, and then I'm gonna sit back in the TV room in my recliner and probably take a nap. Guys, thank you for watching. This has been Road Glide in America, traveling 2 up. My name is Tall, and that's Tonya. I want to tell everybody, again, thanks for watching. Keep gliding, and as always, have a blessed day.